Good evening. My name is Jessica Hood, and tonight I want to talk to you all about a very important topic. And I thought, in light of Jeopardy, I'd see if anyone can guess my topic with a few hints. So the first hint is that it's a social network site. The second hint, and feel free if you know it already, you can jump in. The second hint is that it was created over 10 years ago. And the third hint is that it was created to connect professionals with other professionals.
What is LinkedIn?
Correct. And if I had a prize, you'd get it, but I don't. So there we go. So in the beginning of the semester, we talked about brands and your brand for your company. But I think as MBA students, we all should have a brand of our own. How are you portraying yourself to other professionals? You can utilize LinkedIn to get that brand out into the market, your own individual brand. So tonight, I want to talk about some of the benefits of LinkedIn. Specifically, I want you to walk away with 2 key points. I want you to know how you can utilize LinkedIn for your professional development, and also how you can use it for career advancement. So just to start off, who here is somewhat familiar with the site? Okay. Just a little background on myself. I'm in sales. I use LinkedIn almost every day for different aspects of my job. I find the decision maker. I find out about a company's information. Also some other things that I talk about today, I do daily as well. So I'm pretty versed in the site. But for those of you that are a little newer to the site, it was launched over 10 years ago, like I said, in 2003. Currently, it has over 225 million users. And I just read an article that I think 2 users are added every second. So it's growing very quickly. And it's in over 200 countries. And I pulled this mission statement from their website. Basically, they want to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. When you join LinkedIn, you get access to people, jobs, news, updates, and insights that help you be great at what you do. And I underline that because I think that's the key. And if you utilize LinkedIn, you will get better at what you do. So to prep for this assignment, I looked up all of you on LinkedIn. And I found half of you. So that means half of you either don't have a site or you're very hard to find, which also isn't a good thing. So if you didn't get an invite from me and you have a site, it's because I couldn't find you. So I connected with everyone else, and I appreciate you accepting my invitation. But creating an account for those that haven't done so is very easy. You really just need some professional information about yourself. You can create a very basic account in maybe 10 minutes. And it's really important to also add a photo. Kind of gives you that personal connection to whoever's looking at your site. Now down to some of my key takeaways. Now that you know how to create a site if you don't already have one, once you develop the site, you get access to everything. And one of the things that I like to utilize a lot is groups. Now anyone can create a group, and there's more than 1 million groups available on the site. With that many groups, there's some really good groups, and there's some really bad groups. But you can find groups that really speak to your profession and your industry. And once you find the good groups, they're a great source of information, and they have discussions that might have relevant topics to you, and you can also join a discussion. So this is a group that I use. It was created by a sales author, and basically I get an email every day, and has different discussions, and people from across the country can post information, and it's a good way for me to find some key rule of thumbs for my profession. So I might be able to take away something that someone said in California and use it in my everyday work. I also look for groups for people in the room here. Here's a retail group for our DSW people, and an RN network. So it is, we're all MBA students, but you can find a group on anything. And here's a project management. And this is nice because it actually shows you right here, right off the bat. It says, download my free ebook on high-performing teams. A lot of these better groups give you really valuable information for free that you can download. I know I've downloaded a lot of books for my sales group. So moving on to something new that LinkedIn just created in May. They revamped their site for their 10-year anniversary, and they created channels. So unlike groups that are created by individuals, LinkedIn created their own channels, which are a broader topic. And you can select to follow different channels, and once you do so, you get that information sent to you. And I think something smart that they did was they enlisted very high executives and well-known people to write blogs for the different channels. Has anyone got on channels yet? It's really new. I don't think a lot of people really know about it yet. So it's something to check out. And now to career advancement. So I think to get ahead in your career, you have to be able to network and build your network, especially here as an MBA student. And LinkedIn helps you do that. When you go into your homepage, it shows you people that you may know, and it does that by taking your connections and finding people that are associated. So here, you might not be able to see it very clearly, but it says second degree connection. So they're connected to someone you're also connected to. So I might be connected to Casey, who is connected to Elliot, but we're not connected, but Elliot might show up on my page and says, hey, you might know this person. I didn't know that he was on LinkedIn, so I'm going to add him because I know him, and we can build that connection. It's also a good way to stay connected. So we're all in this class together. If 5 years down the line, might lose touch, LinkedIn actually emails you and tells you when people advance in their profession, when they get a new job. And that's really helpful too. You might be interested in a company that one of your students just started, or one of your classmates just started working at. You might be able to reach out to them and see how they like it and get some feedback. And this shows up on your profile. It actually tells you who views your profile, which I think is kind of interesting. And then how many times your name shows up in a search right here, and how many people you're connected to. So that's on your home page. And then it also helps to establish credibility. This is newer. When you sign up for or when you just are trying to improve your own site, you can select skills and expertise that you have, and then your fellow peers can sponsor you and say that you do have that, and it starts to build up. So 11 people have endorsed me for energy, because that's what I sell. So. All right, and now about career moves. So who in here has actually changed jobs since undergrad or have thought about it? Okay. LinkedIn is a great tool if you're looking for a career move. They show job postings on your homepage, which usually relate to what you do or are somewhat in your industry. And then one of the main things is I think HR departments have moved towards using LinkedIn in a big way. And I have an example of this. My company in March announced they were going to sell my division. I would say within a week, I had 10 headhunters contact me trying to get information. Are you looking for a change? We have this opportunity and this opportunity. If I wasn't on LinkedIn, I probably would never have been contacted. So that just shows you it really is a tool that I think HR departments are starting to utilize more and more. And you can see who views your profile. Most of the time, it's headhunters and it's competitors' HR departments. So I think that just goes to show that it does make a difference. And even if you're not looking for a career move, you never know what opportunity might be around the corner, and you might get shut down because you don't have your site up. But someone might contact you with a great opportunity that you never would have thought you'd make a move, but you are going to because they contacted you. So some mistakes to avoid now that you know about professional development and career advancement. Now you're ready to go use LinkedIn a lot more. Try to not have an empty profile. It's okay in the beginning to start off a little slow, but you definitely want to build up your profile, and LinkedIn has this nice profile strength on your homepage, so it'll actually tell you how advanced your site is, and the more advanced your site is, the more I think you're probably going to be listed on searches. So you're going to show up on more people's connections and searches. Have a professional photo. It's kind of dark to see, but this is a scuba diving picture for an IT director. So, you can't even see his face. So I would encourage a professional photo that's not blurry. And again, it's about your brand. So you want to relay a professional brand to the audience. It's not Facebook. Don't post personal stuff. You know, it's not a place to put what you ate for dinner, like Facebook. And this picture kind of says it all. It's kind of hard to see on the screen, but obviously this might have been a spring break picture, but it's not a professional picture for LinkedIn. And know your employer code. I would say try to err on the side of caution. Talk more about your own brand, not so much about your company and competitors. Keep it focused on what you're doing in your profession. And you can look into your employer's code, but you just want to make sure it's a really gray area, and I think it's still new for companies and they're adjusting. So you're just better off erring on the side of caution with what you post about any competitors in your own company. So just to wrap everything up, the key takeaways: professional development with groups and channels, and career advancement with networking and building your connections, and making sure you have a site so recruiters can find you and offer you great opportunities. And my call to action is to embrace LinkedIn. If you don't already have a site set up, you know, go out there and start small, but start building it up. And if you do have it, try to use some of the new tools we're coming out with, like channels, and start connecting with more people to grow your network even more. So can I take any questions? I do have my site if anyone has a specific question. Yeah.
So I've always thought like LinkedIn is just nothing more than an online business card, something that like it's oh well, you have a LinkedIn, right? Yeah, absolutely. But no one really ever uses it, and no one really ever gets hired from it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I could have a LinkedIn, but unless I have value to give to you, then why are you going to hire me? So I don't really understand.
Yeah, well, I think it's growing a lot, and I think the misconception, especially people outside of the business world, is that, oh, it's a business Facebook, and it's not. And I think, you know, if you're going in for an interview, and it's you and another candidate, and you're pretty much online, you know, with qualifications, they like you both, I would assume that if the other candidate has a more professional, up-to-date LinkedIn page that has recommendations and endorsements, they're going to look better than you. It's one extra thing to set you apart from the competition. And like I said, you know, when that announcement was made about my company, I had so many headhunters, and they still are trying to connect with me, and it's been since March. So I think things are changing, and I think it's becoming not just about business, but profession as a whole. And I still think there's a lot of people that don't have a page, and it's going to continue to grow. But I think HR, I'm not in HR, but I'm assuming that HR departments are utilizing it a lot more than they have in the past.
Where do I find my business code? Isn't that what you said to put on there? Where do I find that?
So, what do you mean your business code? Well, you can create your own link. You mean business code as in?
Whatever you had on the last slide.
You mean
Like code of conduct.
Oh, you have to talk to your employer.
Yeah.
It's going to be different. I mean, a larger company is going to have one, and a smaller company might be very vague. You have to talk to someone. I just know you have to be cautious about what you put on, especially. Well, that's interesting. But yeah, anyway, any other questions?
Thanks, Jessica.